Peace, y'all. This is Hayes Reed of Astrology and Occult News. Hayes Reed, Astrology and Occult News. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to this space that I am cultivating and sharing with you all. My name is Hayes Reed. As I already said, I am an astrologer, a minister of the word, a magician, a psalmist, a hoodoo practitioner, and I am here to give a message to kind of help people navigate their lives right now in a different framework, I guess. And that's why you're here on my channel, right? So yeah, I just kind of want to start out with that introduction, and let's get into the reason of this video. So this video is going to be Mars and Taurus. Mars and Taurus, okay? Mars, which is the planet of action, war, and masculinity. It rules over the zodiac sign of Aries, is going to be transiting through Taurus, the fixed earth sign, from July 6th. It's July 9th now, so it came into Taurus a couple of days ago, so this is a little late. July 6th through August 21st. We'll have Mars transiting through Taurus until it exits Taurus and goes into Gemini on the 21st. So the meaning of this transit, what this transit is here to bring us is new life. First of all, is what I like to say, new life is a theme here. I really feel that we are evolving as a human species. And so this is what I mean by new life. Mars in Taurus has to move a little bit slower. You know, Mars is a planet of action. It's fiery, it's speedy, it's, you know, again, ruling the first zodiac sign of Aries, the pioneer, the warrior, the first, you know, the creator, being in the more slow moving earth grounded sign of Taurus is going to bring a lot of shifts and like really revolutionary change, because this is going to give us as a species an opportunity to really slow down and in a lot of ways truly reprogram ourselves to a way of existing and being that is more sustainable. So how does all that correlate and translate really to our human experience? You know, Taurus rules over food. It rules over nature. It rules over our resources. So with Mars being in Taurus, this is a time to really take action based on what you know and what you want to build, what you feel is your quality. Everybody's not going to like the same things as you right now. So this is a time for you to cultivate a path, pioneer a path of value for yourself, cultivate a path of success. Cultivate a path of success, because Taurus ultimately wants to grow things that are good in this world. So, you know, what that goodness entails is the things that nourish us, the things that nurture us, the things where we find connection, where we find resources, as far as money, food, institutions, commerce, like those things very much operate in the realm of Taurus, or Taurus operates in that realm of pleasure and money. So this is a time where we deeply want to be thinking about what gives us pleasure. Because Taurus, again, is the land. You know, pleasure is derived from our five senses. Taurus rules over the five senses. I pretty much just kind of scaled back and gave you guys a bunch of different ways to look at the Taurus archetype. The Mars energy is very much about movement and progression. It can be violent at times. It can be angry. But with Mars and Taurus, this is a time for us to really temperament our anger and our passions so that we can start to really build relationships, you know, that contain core value, core ethics. That's a lot of what Taurus also rules as well, is our value system. So everything that we talk about when it comes to Taurus is money, pleasure, the things that help us to interact with life. This is all that Taurus is. So for many of us, this can be a shock or a jolting kind of stop, because Mars has been moving through Aries, through its home sign, and now it's in Taurus, where it has to move a lot slower. So this may be different. This may be an energy that has to, like, we're learning how to digest energy right now, like literally learning how to digest and support our own growth from within, from a more kind of inner resourceful place, meaning that where Mars is right now in the zodiac wheel, okay, between Aries and Taurus, is a space where it's really all about personal resources and stuff like that. So this is not a really time to rely on external sources. And I really believe this is about the news as well, and the media and the propaganda and what's being pushed, what's being panhandled to us right now, what's being promoted right now, I think is going to ultimately push us away from external sources. Because remember, Saturn is in Aquarius right now. Saturn is in Aquarius retrograde. Mars, being in Taurus, is going to make a square to Saturn in Aquarius retrograde. So this is a time where the actions of Mars, the primal instincts of the people, us as human beings, is going to be making that square to Saturn, which is going to cause friction against hard systems and governmental structures. So this is a time where we definitely want to be building up our own framework of how we want to give and receive resources at this time. What is sustainable? What is really going to be nourishing life right now? So many of us are going to be not even stepping into that bigger kind of mission. Like for a lot of us, whatever timelines that we're on, this is going to be about nourishing relationships, love, and romance, because there's levels to this thing. There's levels to pleasure, there's levels to all this stuff. So when I talk about Taurus, when I talk about the Venusian ruled sign, I'm talking about a fixed sign that has many layers. When you're talking about Earth, there's layers to the Earth, and there's different levels of how we sense things, how we incite pleasure and stuff like that, right? So I feel like don't limit yourself while Mars is in Taurus. Even though we may feel restricted, we may feel limited in how we can move, because the initiating, penetrating energy of Mars, that masculine energy, sexuality, the blood, going into Taurus is really about helping us to really be patient and slow down our lives. Stop being so, don't catch so much static from external sources, the media and all this stuff. That shit doesn't matter. Like none of that really matters right now. What matters right now is that you as a human being have your own instincts, you have your own blueprint, you know what your heart is telling you, and based off of these electromagnetic waves and pulsatings and these plasma waves that we're getting from the universe, the several suns that are like now in our atmosphere, in our galaxy, or in our solar system right now. There's just a lot of new blood pumping. There's a lot of new fever, and with Mars and Taurus, again, this is going to be speaking the language of go hard or go home, get it and get it done. Mars and Taurus. Some people who have Mars and Taurus, Michael Jackson has Mars and Taurus, Kanye West has Mars and Taurus. Who else? I can't really think of anybody else, but just as a couple examples of the Mars and Taurus, the Mars and Taurus feel is very much about luxury. And, if you even look at people like Kanye West and Michael Jackson, who Kanye compares himself as being like the hip hop Michael Jackson, right? So it's funny that we get that quality of a character, of somebody who is so confident in what they have and what they hold, that Taurus, that value system, Mars, kind of showing it off, pushing new values, new modes of sustainability. You know, think about Kanye West. He's buying out land and stuff like that. You know, he's buying land. He's investing in the culture, you know, in a way that can bring, in some ways, certain more sustainable values. I think is a part of his big thing. So those are just ways that you can think about this transit. What do you want to build? What is your vision? What resources do you have materialistically, stylistically, your value system, your culture, that you can pull together to form a path, you know, form a path of strength right now, form your brand. Like, it doesn't have to be complicated, you know, because Taurus is very simple, right? So the card that I pulled for this transit was the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is Leo in the tarot. It's Leo in astrology. So also like Sagittarius, you can even say Aries, you can say all the fire signs. The Queen of Wands is pretty much an amalgamation of all the fire signs, and it's the feminine version of fire. But generally, when you look at the Queen of Wands, you know, I always think of Leo in that way. So the card being Queen of Wands, right, means that for this season, for this Mars and Taurus transit, it's time for us to value our own voice, stay consistent, and have an attack plan, have an approach that is not like everybody else right now. The Queen of Wands, I might as well go ahead and pull it out for y'all while I'm talking. Oh, it's actually right here. Right underneath the first card, we have the Queen of Wands right here. So yeah, you see the cat, you see the wands, you see the throne. So ultimately, what this energy is going to be like is going to be very much about self-possessive victories and wins, and guarding yourself, being possessive, and, you know, just being consistent with your actions, and knowing what it is that your point of view is, understanding your true power, stepping into true power. That's pretty much what Mars and Taurus is trying to help us to do, is step into new power, step into new power systems, get out of any struggle that we've been in, and start to really manifest a life worth living. You know, manifest the life that is worth living for you. What do you find that is worth living for? What is your mission? What is your vision? You know, what is the vision that you're after, and how can you create it while Mars is in Taurus? This is also going to bring up, you know, sex and relationships, partnerships. So don't limit it. I'm actually going to pull one more card. But for the most part, I guess what I'm really trying to express is that Mars and Taurus wants to build. This is a time to build. This is a time to build community. This is a time to build new core values, build new sustainable ways of cooking and nurturing each other. This is really about the new trend of the healer, you know, really coming to rise up. So the new wave of healers, the new wave of healing is coming in. So I may title this video A New Wave of Healing. I know I've kind of jumped around a lot of different kind of focal points, but it all really adds up to how we are going to be experiencing our life and showing our light, and what we're here to give, what we're here to nurture, what are we here to fully invest in right now. There's going to be a nice shift, you know, into new pleasures, into new spaces, into a new feng shui. You know, Taurus has a lot to do with your environment and what you like, and how your five senses are being stimulated. So I feel like Mars and Taurus have a lot in store for us. There's a lot in store for us, so be hopeful. I'm gonna pull a card for us. Five of Wands, wow. So after the Queen of Wands, we got the Five of Wands, y'all. So what are you fighting for? You know what I'm saying? The Five of Wands here is a card of conflict, okay? It's all about going into the fight, you know? So ultimately, like like I said, there is massive change coming in. I feel like this is also going to show up externally within the media and stuff like that. You really have to be careful not to get caught up in everybody's drama. You got to be careful, because other people right now, like, they don't know what they want. They don't really. Now I'm kind of changing the tone of this, but people don't really know what they want. Like let's be real. Like, right now, everybody's trying to figure it out. Everybody is trying to understand what their nature is. How do I exist in this world? That now the world is changing, and I'm seeing all these truths, and all these focal points are coming into view. How do I really exist in this world? I think a lot of people during this Mars and Taurus transit are going to get very angry, because they're going to realize that their structures have not completely been solidified as they thought it was, or these insecurities show up that trigger you to really stand up for a belief system that you don't even fully, we haven't fully seen everything yet right now. So even though we may feel like we want to fight, the slow moving nature of Taurus may make us a little impatient. Like, we don't want to wait. I don't want to, I don't want to do this. I don't want to, there may be a lot of resistance. Mars and Taurus will present a lot of resistance, and a lot of like resistant change, or resistance to change, because Taurus is not a sign that generally likes to change. I mean, it evolves, but change and just being like, just do this and just change. It's like Taurus that's not how Taurus operates. So this is going to be a time to really work through a lot of old traditions, a lot of old patterns, and building new patterns on top of those old fundamental models of living and existing, whether that be money, whether that be a relationship, whether that be how you're investing in certain communities or spaces. A lot of that has to change. So, I'm not gonna, tell you what that is for you, but what's meant for you is for you. You don't have to fight for what's for you. So don't be pushing against the grain. Just in the moment, like, don't get caught up in the moment right now. So, this is Hayes Reed of Astrology and Occultic News. I hope that this video gave you some clarity. Was really kind of struggling with how I wanted to present this information, because again, like, I feel like Mars and Taurus, this is going to be extremely personal for everybody. This is a personal sign. This is a part of the zodiac wheel where it's personal. It's about the self. So what do you believe in? What are you fighting for? How are you making change in this world? Are you causing chaos, or are you creating a space for sustainable evolutionary growth and safety? Like, there's going to be a lot of that. Kind of back and forth about, what is safety, gun control, gun laws, all that stuff is about to really be magnified at this time, So a lot of people, are really wondering, do I need to buy a gun? Do I need to learn, like, what do I need to do in order to protect myself at this time? What's my new value system? So y'all, stay real, stay solid, don't let anybody, take you for a fool. Stay real. Don't let the propaganda from the media and all this stuff get you up out of arms. We know what's really going on. Stop acting like you don't, and get with the program. I love y'all. This is Hayes Reed, Astrology and Occultic News. Peace.